Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. This is, I've been asked this question frequently recently, so I thought I'd address it. What is the ruling on pooling money? Pooling money, what does that mean? Say you got a group of 5 individuals. Each person agrees to put in £100 into a mutual bank account every single month. So after month number 1, you're going to have £500 because there's 5 individuals paying in £100 each. After month number 2, another £500 is put in, it becomes 1,000. At the end of 1 year, you've got 6,000. Person number 1 takes the 6,000 and they benefit from it. But the people keep paying in to this account, £100 a month. Then in year number 2, person number 2 benefits. And then year number 3, person number 3, and so forth. This is what we mean by pooling money. What is the ruling on this? Now, there are 2 views from the ulama. One group of scholars say that it's not permissible, and this is the view of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan and our Sheikh Salih al-Shithri and others from the contemporaries. The reason why is because there's a golden principle when it comes to Islamic finance. كُلُّ قَرْضٍ جَرَّ نَفْعًا فَهُوَ رِبًا. Any kind of loan that you give to a person which you will benefit from, then this is a form of riba. So if I put in, after 1 year, £1,200 and I'm going to get 6,000 back, fair enough, I'm going to pay these people back and I'm not going to make money for money, but it is a loan that I've given and I'm benefiting in the short term immediately because I've put in 1,200, now I've got 6,000 and now I can, buy a car or do whatever I want with it. So a group of scholars have said, no, this is not permissible because this is a loan which brings about benefit, and loans that bring about benefit is riba, or form of riba. Others from the ulama, Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz and others, have said that it is permissible. And I believe it also there's a fatwa from Lajnat Da'ima, the Permanent Committee of Senior Scholars, that have said it is permissible. Reason why is because it's not a loan. As long as the following conditions can be met. Number 1, the people that are putting in the money have the chance to pull out at any time. So you put in the 100, month number 1, put in the 100, month number 2, and then you realize in month number 3, listen, I don't want to do it anymore. You take your 200, 300 back, and then you go on your way. If you owe anyone some money, if it's been a few years, then you pay those people back how much you owe them, and then you go on your way. You have the chance to pull out at any time. This then means it is not a loan, because this is wealth that belongs to you. Fair enough, it's not in your pocket, it's not in your account, it's not in your home, it's in a neutral location, but it's still your money. So that way it's not a loan. A loan is when I give the money to somebody else, that person is now benefiting from it. I do not have access to it, I do not have possession of it. I just have an IOU from the other person. That is a loan. Whereas this, when you put it into the account, you have access to it at any time you want. That's condition number 1. If we can fulfill that condition, then we can realize that it's not a loan, and then the reservation of the first group of scholars are no longer there. So then it becomes permissible, inshallah. The second mas'ala that we need to pay attention to in order for it to be permissible is that the person who puts in the monthly amount is responsible for zakat on it, as long as it meets the minimum requirement for zakat. There are 3 requirements which are necessary, 3 conditions for zakat to be wajib upon you. Number 1, you have the minimum threshold, which is the nisab, 595 grams of silver, 200 dirham. Number 2, hala alayhi al-hawl, that has been 1 full hijri year. 1 full hijri year. If you've got these 2 that have been met, then you need to give zakat on whatever you've had which meets the minimum threshold, and you've had it for 1 full hijri year. And number 3, that you have possession of it. And we just said a moment ago, as long as you've got possession of it, as long as you've got access to that money at any time, then that is considered as you having possession of it. Therefore, people who put in money to this kind of a scheme are responsible for their own zakat. And quite often, when a person puts money into a neutral location, they don't think of giving zakat anymore. And that is wrong. Because if you've got access to it, you are considered as having possession of it. If you're considered having possession of it, then you need to give zakat on it. So after month number 1, £100 has gone in. After 1 year, you've put in £1,200, right? Fair enough, one of those people have walked away with the 6,000. But that 1,200, before he's walked away with it, you need to give the zakat on it if it's been 1 full hijri. If the person has walked away and you don't have access to it anymore, then you don't need to give zakat on it, but you should have given zakat on it because of the fact that it's been 1 full hijri year. The third thing that I want to mention when it comes to this pooling scheme, which is a very good initiative, I know of certain cultures, some Kurds do this, some Turks do this. It's quite common in certain Turkish communities that they have this pooling, and they've been doing it for a number of years. To the extent that there are so many people that are involved, I know of one incident of a person, he got married and they were able to buy him a house and even buy him a car for the newlywed. And they didn't even need to entertain the idea of having a riba-based mortgage and, get involved in haram loans. So I will say that if there is a group of Muslim brothers and sisters, siblings, offspring, elders, youngsters, etc., and they are all earning, then this pooling scheme is a perfect way for us to generate a good economy for ourselves. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq and success, and that He places barakah in everything that He gives us. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا